What's going on, everyone? It's Alex. Thanks for joining me back on the channel and checking out this new video. So today I have the Infiniti jacked up, did an oil change. And while it's up in the air, the main reason of this video is I want to install the new Berk resonated test pipes that I received a couple weeks ago. They've been patiently sitting over here waiting to be put on, and today is finally that day. So we're going to start by taking off the old still and high flow cats. I'll also show you the damage I was referring to in the previous video, and we'll get these new pipes on and see how they sound. So here I have the still-ins. Obviously that's where the stock cats are as well on either side. And as you can see here, this one is bent or dinged up pretty bad. That was from a stone or rock rather from a construction site that I hit. And it also took off the O2 sensor, which is causing that check engine light that I've had forever. So as you can see, they connect to the Y pipe back there on either side. And then they connect to the header up top there with 3 bolts. Now these bolts up top here are usually a huge pain in the butt. They shouldn't be too bad for me since I've already obviously had these off. And I did the install video of these still and high flow cats a while back if you want to check those out or check that video out as well. But in any event, depending how old your car is, where you live, these bolts up there, a lot of people like to refer them to as demon bolts. They can be a bit of a challenge, so if I were you, if you have the time, jack the car up a few days in advance, spray these bolts down with some PB Blaster, let them sit, and then that'll make your job a little bit easier when it comes time to change these. So the first thing I'm going to do is start by disconnecting the O2 sensor here. You'll obviously have a second one here if you are not like me and have actually one that's intact here. Then I will be pulling the O2 sensors off while the cats are on the car still. It makes it a little bit easier since everything is attached, and it'll give you a little bit more leverage. So these are taken off very easily. Just depress this little clip here and then it will pull out and be disconnected. So there you have it disconnected, and then just pull it off of this little bracket here and then it will hang freely. So now we can remove the actual O2 sensor from the cat. Like I said, I will be removing it while it's on the vehicle. This side I'm not going to worry about because I have a new one to replace it. So go ahead and pop this one off, and then we can start working on these bolts to get the cat off itself. Alright, so we got this one loosened here. These can be a pain in the butt as well. So just make sure you have the right size wrench. Don't do it like me and use an adjustable. I just don't have one that's big enough right now. These can strip pretty easily, so like I said, just make sure you have the right size. Alright, so first I'm going to remove the bolts at the Y pipe here, and then we can work on the bolts that are connected to the header. Now onto the other side. I did break these loose prior to starting the camera, but they were a little bit loose to begin with, so I do wonder if I may have had a little bit of an exhaust leak. Guess we'll find out once I put everything else back on. Next we'll work on getting the bolts off up here where it connects to the header. Like I said in the beginning of the video, these can be a little tricky depending, again, you know, how old your car is, where you live. They get pretty corroded. Since I've done these before already, mine are pretty easy to get loose. But in any event, there's there's 2 nut and bolt combinations and then 1 nut. The stud at the top here stays in the header flange. One side's off, let's get to the other side. Alright, so now that the old still-ins are off, we can take a look at the still-ins and the Berk side by side. Obviously, one's a high flow cat, one is a resonated test pipe. The Berks in general look to be of a higher quality, both the welds, and then here if you look where it connects to the flange, this kind of bottlenecks down a little bit before it gets to the cat, and this is just the same size all the way through. This opening on the still-in is 2 1/4, where this is 2 1/2, so just overall better flow through on the Berk test pipes. And then I don't know if I showed at in the other video, you can actually see the light through this one, whereas on the high flow cat you don't get any light through. So overall, once the car is retuned, the Berks should make a bit more power, both because of the larger tubing diameter and less of the restriction with the substrate that's on the cat. So now with the nice new gaskets and hardware, we can do everything in reverse order and throw these on, get everything tightened up, and see how the car sounds. So it's a little bit hard to film and put these in place at the same time, but the Berk on the driver's side is in place now. The bolts are in, they're finger tight, both on this flange and the rear flange. You can see there the big gap. So now what I'm going to do is I'm going to tighten all these first, since there's no flex joint here, so I want that to be lined up. And then since there's the flex pipe back there, I will do this joint second. And once these are all tightened up, then we can go ahead and hook back up the O2 sensor and then work on the other side. Alright, driver's side is all installed. All the nuts and bolts are tight in front and back. O2 sensor is on and connected. Now we can move on to this side, get that all hooked up, and then we'll be done. Alrighty, so passenger side test pipe is in, everything is tightened up. Got both O2 sensors. Haven't had one hooked up here for almost a year, so it'd be nice to finally get rid of that check engine light. So I'm going to reset the ECU real quick just to get rid of that check engine light by disconnecting the battery. Then we'll fire it up, check for leaks, and see how it sounds. Alright, battery's all reset. It's time to start up the car. It is close. I backed into the garage to have more room up front to work on it. So it is close to the wall. So the sound representation when I start it up isn't going to be the best. But in any event, I'll set the camera down, fire it up, and see how it sounds. Alright, so there you have it, the install of the Berk resonated test pipes and a little startup and rev. I wasn't able to get a full video just yet. I'll be posting that later, or the sound clips rather, of the full exhaust combination, both drive-bys, acceleration, all that good stuff. So stay tuned for that. I hope you enjoyed the video. Hope this will help you if you're looking to do this on your car. I'll post the link right up here to the other video when I installed the still and high flow cats. Same install, so between both videos, hopefully it'll give you a good idea of what you need to do. It's not a hard process at all. Like I said, the only difficult part is those bolts up top where the header meets the cat or the test pipe. They tend to get a little corroded, a little rusted, so they can be a pain in the butt. So just take your time, spray them down with some penetrating oil a few days in advance if you can, and go for it. In terms of the test pipes themselves, I'm really happy with the quality. Comparing them to the Stillen, I think they are slightly better in quality. Nothing against Stillen. I do love a bunch of their products that they offer, but just comparing the Berks to the Stillen high flow cats, definitely think that Berks are a little bit of a higher quality, and I do really like the way that they sound quite a bit better compared to the Stillen high flow cats. So thanks again for watching. Like I said, stay tuned for a follow-up video so you can get a true representation of what this exhaust combination sounds like. If you have any questions about the install or any questions about the Berk test pipes in particular, please drop a comment down below. I'll be sure to answer anything you post. And please give the video a thumbs up if you did enjoy it. I'd really, really appreciate that as well. So thank you all very, very much for watching. For those that continue to support my channel, thank you very much. I really appreciate it. If you haven't already subscribed to the channel, please do so. It'd really mean a lot to me, and I'll be putting out some good videos that I think you'll enjoy. So please stay tuned for the next video. I hope everyone enjoys the rest of their day, and I'll see you next time.